Let me say good morning to one and all. If you're listening in the northern part of the island, you're listening to our sister isles of the sister isles, Carriacou, Petit Martinique. Good morning to you. You're in the southern part of the island, on the mainland, Grenada. Good morning to you. The western eastern side. Good morning and welcome to another edition of To the Point. I'm GT with you, your host. I'll be around with you until it's 10 a.m. this morning. Also, let me take the time out to say good morning to our viewers via GBN TV. Whether you're viewing Channel 7, Channel 11, or Channel 20, good morning. Those of you also listening and viewing via social media platforms, whether it's the YouTube channels, the Facebook page, our web page, good morning to you. Thanks for being part of To the Point this morning once again, and welcome. And we are diverting into, I would say, an open line session this morning, which means you feel free if you're listening via the radio or viewing via television, give me a call. 435-2041, 435-2041. And before I move on, let me say good morning to the folks inside of Carriacou. Yes, and I understand there was an issue in Carriacou, was it last evening, where one of the generators actually went down. And I think it was a bit of a mechanical problem. So lost power. I understand the entire island was out. But I understand that power has not been restored. So those of you in Carriacou are able to listen to GBN of you. So good morning, and certainly hope that all is well with you, and no major issues that occurred because of the outage. All right. So, Grant is saying they have restored power to the entire island of Carriacou. Let's take your phone calls. 435-2041. Good morning to you. I guess we lost that caller there. So, you know what happens on the open line? If you do have some bit of a concern, you know that something is bothering you for some reason or the other, you want to get it off, feel free to do so. 435-2041. Let's go to the phone line and entertain our very first caller this morning. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, GT. How you do?
I am doing fine. What about you? Good morning.
Good, man. I'm good.
Nice to know that.
The other day, I didn't get a chance to compliment you for this nice T-shirt you was wearing. One day, I have to meet the wife to ask her for a loan of that nice T-shirt.
All right. Go right ahead.
Yes. GT, I want to make 2 points this morning, maybe 3. Mm-hmm. Regarding to the road, the people that are doing the road work, I don't think
what area are you focusing on precisely?
Okay, like from is it not Parade, White Gun. Mm-hmm. Let us say White Gun go right up St. Paul's, Mardi Gras, Good Hope. Mm-hmm. Now, if there is a hole in the road, they fix that. But there is small ones around it and cracks. They leave that off. And one little rain, all get big again. So maybe they could consider, because like I asked one of them if they're short of materials. And he says, no, they have material, but what the F that have to do with you? However, if they could just do one thing. Look, we're driving and we've been in a bad road situation for a very long time. So now we have employment, we have material. Let us try and do it right.
So you would like to see maybe a total resurfacing of the road instead of the little patches that they are doing?
Little patches, because they is already broken. Mm-hmm. Right. Or maybe we could call the Honorable Tevin Andrew to send down some people from Carriacou to do the road here, or teach us down here how to do the road. So then back to the other one, right, with Emmeline Pierre. You know, I feel very sorry for Emmeline Pierre. Mm-hmm. Emmeline Pierre coming on TV with this big diving glass in her eyes. And she faced white as if she's Michael Jackson.
Come on, caller. Is it necessary to go that particular direction?
Necessary because nobody not telling her, so let me tell her. Okay.
Yeah, but you have to offer some form of respect. Would you like someone coming and tell you that? Come on. Let's be a little bit more disciplined, man. Come on.
Okay, all right. Let me say that to Miss Pierre. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, to Miss Pierre, I believe that the politics over for this party, those individuals, this NNP will be again continuing politics. But this present, the ministers, I don't think that they will be given the opportunity again. Because really, the MNP, she didn't do a good job, period. Now, somebody sent some things for me to give to a lady in Pulse, and I brought it up there. I couldn't find my way, so people was showing me, go this way, that way. And you know, I met that lady and her children under a trampoline in Pulse, in Miss Pierre constituents. And I say, hey, I didn't realize people living there. And she said, yes, my child. And she showed me the wooden house structure. It fell down since in Ivan. And she said, you see, this trampoline here is from the Ivan trampoline. And so I believe that they did such a bad job that they're not going back again. What they have to do is to pull themselves together and see what can they do on the other side.
All right.
Now, she keep attacking this present administration. Now, when she was there, I never hear she was advising the former prime minister of anything. If she did, I never heard. But no, the honorable prime minister doesn't need you all advice. The guy is doing a very good job. And it's out of 1,000 offices, it's only one that he hasn't yet seriously attacked. And I believe very soon he's going to do it. So just give him a chance. Look, we're getting road. We're getting so many things. Look in the school and everything. So please, let us give him a chance and wish them well. And Miss Emlyn, try and take a vacation.
All right.
Come back and do your own business.
Have a good morning, caller. Have a good morning. You have a good morning and have a great weekend yourself. We're looking at 8 minutes after 9 o'clock here on To The Point this morning, open line edition. Let's go to the phone line, entertain another caller. Caller, good morning, and you're so welcome. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. What about you this morning?
I'm hanging in the name of the Lord, thanking God for
All right,
life.
all right.
I want to wish all the mothers in Grenada, Carriacou, PD, Martinique a very happy Mother's Day, a blessed one. And mothers have to remember, every day is Mother's Day. Not only one day that they provide for them, but all the life they live, they must be a mother to their children. Look out for them in every way. Talk to them as a mother. And don't call your children what God graced you with. Don't silent kids. They are children of God. Now, I watch the news where these two people went in the zoo to visit the monkeys. The monkey have 2 monkeys on each on both sides. You know what they tell the monkey? Oh, she have 2 kids. You want children, not monkeys. You don't want it to be in the same category as them. So don't style your children as kids. Call them children of God.
All right.
That's what made them all. And Gigi, I want to ask all the blessed all to wish my loving great-grandniece a happy, sweet 16th birthday and Sunday advance birthday greetings to her.
All right.
She's taking her 16th birthday and she's doing very good at the St. Joseph Convent.
All right, man. Well, happy advance birthday to her also.
And have a blessed weekend. And you take care of yourself.
You too. Have a good
All
one.
the mothers must take care of their children until they do them from this world, okay?
All right.
I love children. I don't have children, but I love them all. Wherever I see a child, I go and talk to them. I say, mothers, take care of you. Say, yes, miss, I will take care of my child. I like to see mothers taking care of children, loving them, cherishing them. Now, if your baby crying, do not rock them, don't shake them. You can shake the life out of them. Rock them, both side and side, until they fall asleep. But I see some mothers, they're shaking, child ain't crying, but they're shaking. If you have a
All right.
yeah, the child nice and sweet lying on the arms, but they're still shaking. Don't shake them. You're going to shake the life out of them.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's Mother's Day.
All right. Okay. 435-2041, 435-2041. I really thought I was going to respond to something, and it just slipped me there just a wee bit. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning, and you're welcome to The Point. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Caller, good morning. Go right ahead with your contribution, please.
How are you?
Hello.
Yeah.
Go right ahead with your contribution.
I just want to wish all the nurses a happy day, and the mothers, I want to wish mothers happy Mother's Day too. And I just want to say that we are all good people in Grenada. So let us strive for goodness, and then in the Bible it says that we're supposed to pray for our government. So let us all pray for our government that they will do well. In Jesus' name.
Thank you also. Have a good morning. 435-2041. It's an open line edition of To The Point for today. If you do have a matter that you would like to express this morning, it's a bit of a concern to you, feel free to do so. 435-2041, the open line edition of To The Point. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Mr. Tellisford, good morning, and how are you?
I'm doing fine. How about you this morning?
I'm doing okay. Mr. Tellisford, I don't know, but I'm hearing on the radio ever so often. I don't know if it's a group of people, if it's an organization, if it's a cult or what, I don't know. But I'm hearing of this chatters on the street. I would like to know a little about these chatters on the street. Who they are, where, if it's an organization, where they're located, and on a few other little things I would like to know. So
You're
if
calling
you
it,
know...
you said chatters on the street.
Uh-huh.
I know not of the group. It's actually the first time I'm hearing of it
every
myself.
morning about the chatters on the street, and if it's a good organization, which I don't know, or maybe I don't believe. I mean, what is this about? You have any idea?
Well, I don't. As I mentioned, I don't. Probably I'll get some information and find out some more about it, or maybe
just
there's
the chatters on the street.
maybe there's someone
And
who's
another
listening
quick
who may be
point.
able to share that information with us, but I haven't heard of them before.
Right.
So can't give you
Another
any.
quick point. When you go to those Indian stores in town, they're not issuing you a receipt.
Even
and
if you
I
ask
would-
for it, even if you ask for a receipt,
Pardon me?
have you been asking for a receipt?
I have not, but this is that should come automatically. You don't have to ask for a receipt when you go.
Well, sometimes you
buy a
well, if you wasn't
product.
given one, it's your right to also ask for one. You understand?
Okay.
All right.
But there's a sign that says no refund, no exchange, no nothing, but they're not giving you a receipt. And everywhere you go is a different price. This administration have to check up on that and put things in place. Have a good weekend and take care.
You too, my dear. Have a good day yourself and a great weekend. 445-2041, 445-2041. It's an open line edition of To The Point for today, Friday. The final edition for this particular week of To The Point. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
And how are you doing?
Doing pretty well.
Right. Happy advanced Mother's Day to all the mothers. But Mr. GT, as a host of a radio program, you, and this is fair criticism, you seem to be entertaining a lot of crap on your program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. Governments come, governments go. Ministers come, ministers go. People elect the government. People elect the parliamentary representatives. Be it Honorable Deacon Mitchell, be it Honorable Keith Mitchell, be it Honorable Edmund Pierre, Emma Thomas. The animosity that I'm hearing from certain corners, even your Facebook Live right now, the very said people on that live right now, who are very, very vocal in the contributions, have no respect. Come on. Emlyn Pierre, Honorable Emlyn Pierre is a female representative for a constituency. She cannot be everywhere and anywhere all the time. So you telling me somebody have a house under a tarpaulin is the MP's problem or the government problem? It is not the committee problem, it's not NAP problem, it's not NEC problem. You have a right for your own security. You build a house, for the government will give you assistance. NEC can't do that alone, NAP can't do that alone. So why we having this animosity about, oh, this is Emlyn Pierre's constituency, and you're calling NAP names? You have a guy on the radio, come on NECI, I'm telling you, you have a guy on the radio called Kem Jones, call it, keep it, all kind of names, all kind of derogatory names. Yet still, nobody in call him out. This guy even called Honorable Emma Thomas, all kind of names. You have not seen anything wrong with that? Come on, Canadians, get your luck together. Good.
Thank you, caller. Have a good morning yourself. It's not that I'm entertaining. Sometimes I give individuals a liberty to say, but sometimes I cannot always control what individuals would like to speak about. Sometimes I don't want to be short of being disrespectful to them also. So sometimes I try to control, but sometimes I might always have the liberty of if I go to do that, I may be cutting everybody off who will be calling in. So I understand where you're coming from, caller, but sometimes I think we are all adults who are calling, and we should know the proper things to say when we get on radio. So that's the way I stand. Let's go to the phone line and entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome. We lost that caller there. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Great. Mr. Telesford, greetings. How are you?
Doing pretty well, sir. How you doing?
I'm quite all right, Mr. Telesford. Just three things quickly. One, this morning, you may consider it irrelevant, but to me it's important. Because many of your people, or listeners, they listen to the program on the morning. This morning, the thought of the day really did provoke me. It has to do with personality and how people see themselves. I see me as this and me and myself. In other words, it expressed a sort of trend with our people today, and it's always been, I suppose, me, I, me, my, myself, and mine, all mine. And we were advised by the host, I didn't get a chance to call in then, that we must always do that, and we must first look at ourselves. Very well. This is quite true, but I would like to add something to it to people who listen to that part of the program in this morning. That must be crowned with the following phrase. Within our duties and responsibilities to humanity, we cannot, when we look in the mirror, consider me and I and myself and me and mine. We can't do that without looking to see how it fits in with the rest, the others. Because if we don't, we continue to build self-hypnotized narcissists, and our country is already filled of that. And we cannot continue along the line, that particular line. Item 2. I want to commend the current administration on the efforts made, which started on Wednesday and continues to today. I think it culminates today, on the introduction of a new line to assist in the economic development of the country. I think it is marvelous. And what I heard on the program on Wednesday really did enthuse me. I was seeking all for the last 10 months something that would tell me that this administration, in effect, was trying to take at least a different turn. And I must indeed say that I'm satisfied with what I heard. Now, let's get on to work. Enough talk in this here country. Enough bluff. Enough titles and showing off who you are and what you have behind you. No, we want work in this here country because we want advancement. Remember, this is only one part of it. If we want transformation, we have to work. There is one more thing I wanted to say, Mr. Telesford, and this doesn't relate to your program at the end. Yesterday morning, there was two guests on the early morning program representing the people with disabilities in Grenada. Clearly, they have all rights as Grenadians to get on the radio and say what they want. But you know, Mr. Telesford, I have a major problem in this country because I believe in trustworthiness. I believe that the people who get on the radio and talk to us should be trustworthy. I refer to honesty, reliability, and competence. And these people are not adequate. They're not appropriate because they're not equipped. Listen, brothers and sisters, as I end. The issue related to people with disabilities is a fundamental human rights issue. I want to say that again. It is written in the preface of the convention established by the United Nations. It is a fundamental human rights issue. As a matter of fact, it is the first human rights issue discussed and approved by the United Nations in this century, the 24th century. It stipulates crystal clear that people with disabilities should not be continued to be viewed as objects of charity, medical attention, and social protection. No, it goes beyond that. It says that people with disabilities should be viewed as subjects with rights, capable of claiming those rights, making decisions for their own lives based on their own informed knowledge. So we had to go beyond this pity party, pseudo-philanthropism, picking out picture boys, poster boys, one or two same people over and over. No, it's beyond that. I want to hear the rights of the people in this country looked at in fulfillment of the United Nations. Because I'm calling on the administration, from the so-called Governor General through to so-called Prime Minister, Minister of Social Development, all of them agents of colonialism, to obey the International Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities and begin a process to guarantee the domestication of the rights of people with disabilities in this here country to satisfy the needs of this population. By the way, I should need the number, let the number be known. 26,000 plus cases. According to the last census, we are waiting this one, though. This is serious business. This is not pappy show and any individualism with these dishonest people. Thank you very much and have a nice day, Mr. Telesford.
Thank you also, sir. Have a good morning and have a great weekend yourself. Hey, folks, we drew for a break. Let's take it. We're coming right back with more of To The Point this morning, the Open Line edition. We're coming right back.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and the regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
Here's what customers had to say about Domus Windows and Doors.
The service was excellent with Domus.
Excellent customer service.
Just out of frustration, searching, and just came across you, and I think it was the best, one of my best find ever.
A good feature is that I didn't have to install any burglar proofing on the door because they have laminate glass.
The manufacturing time was on point.
Thanks for what you all are doing. I will continue to be a customer.
Visit Caribbean Shutters, Windows and Doors for Domus quality UPVC solutions.
Welcome back to our listeners and viewers this morning. It's To The Point for today, Friday, open line edition, 435-2041, giving you the opportunity to calling, state your views and concerns this morning. Let's go to the phone line, entertain our first caller in this segment. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning to you, listeners.
Good morning, sir.
There are so many things that need to be talked about, but I'll try to be as short as possible. One is that a lady brought up an issue about the plight of children who featured through the results, when the result of the exit examination, the primary school exit examination is released.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's fitting and it's a good venture, a vantage point to begin a serious consideration how we do education in Grenada and what we consider education. Now, there are some people who said, no, well, it's not a problem. We should, put the list of the children from first to last or so. But I ask the question, why it is that adults generally are ashamed of anybody knowing what the salary are or how much money they're working for? If they're not ashamed of that, why should we feel that for children, it's no problem putting, this kind of results? Similarly, when you have some of those competitions, including those where we judge women like cattle on stage, in recent times I've noticed there's a tendency not to list the last three or so. They give the first three, and so that you guess who come in the last. I think because we are so steeped in our orientation from the masters, which we still have, which we pretend we don't have, we fight tooth and nail to maintain that. So this is something I think we need to look at in terms of how we really affect children. We affect children in so many ways. I saw an incident yesterday, and there was a child involved, and with two others. And I tell myself, doesn't the parent of the child know that the behavior that she was displaying, the child will adopt that? So we create condition, and then we try to pretend, oh, the world coming to an end, and the devil, whatever. But we are the devils. We are the creators of the disorder that we're seeing, and no other person other than us, including when we pretended that the invasion of Grenada was a rescue mission. More and more, the scholars are showing you, without a doubt, that this was a criminal activity. International criminal activity, but yet we upon rescue mission, intervention, and all that kind of thing too. Allow me to continue to pretend and lie to ourselves. We're not doing justice, finally. In light of the impending 50th anniversary of our independence, I would like to suggest two things. One, that we do something, that we work along with all those who have the authority to help us to transform ourselves from being a monarchy to whatever thing without turning allegiance to King Charles. I said that when this government newly came into being. I repeated to one of the officials yesterday again that if just we need to change something where we show allegiance at the start, and also maybe the CTJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, make it our court, final court. We should only do those two things and then work on the overall restructuring, reforming the Constitution as we plan. And the last thing is that I will hope that we can have a massive cleanup campaign. Seeing Grenada of all the garbage, it's outrageous how much garbage that is present in our midst. Oh. We are consumers, we were told. We don't understand what a consumer means. A consumer means...
All right.
A consumer means a monster. And we have been monstering. We are monstering if that is a word, the environment. We are creating trash and waste and so on without being able to manage it. So leading up to the independence, I'm suggesting that we have a coordinated effort. Even going into the hurricane season too, but particularly for independence, that we have a concerted effort that every single able-bodied person engage in some form of cleanup so that we clean this country once and for all, and then implement all the laws that are tandem to those keeping this place clean. Thank you, JT.
Thank you, caller.
I hope that you have a good, enjoy Mother's Day with your mother. I don't have one, but I'll enjoy it in spirit. Thanks.
Have a great day yourself. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line edition offered to the point this morning. Feel free to calling, state your views and concern. If there's a particular issue that is of a concern to you, feel free to speak about it. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome. Good morning to you, caller.
Yeah, all they're doing is just messing up the country. Mess after one after the other. If you can't do properly, just take your bundle, leave, and go and get out. You're too incompetent. What I want to go about, I want to call on the government, right? Got two things to talk about, because this way how they treat the vendors, that is wickedness, that is unconscionable. You can't just tell people like that 2 days. And not only that, when they went down to the ministry to have a meeting, nobody turned up. I find that this government is just insulting the vendors. You can't do those things, and not even a rescheduling of meeting. I condemn that action. I can't defend that. That is wickedness, these poor people. And also now with this international up there, the nursing, I cannot uphold, or I can't get my mind around it. The nurses, you must make the nurses permanent. I don't care about anything else, because these nurses are important. You say you want to transform the health sector, make all this big set of things. Man, okay, you give the $500. I have no problem with that. But make the nurses permanent and the doctors, because these are people are very important to Grenada. The nurses back to health, and not only about on the campaign trail. Didn't you say that the contract work is illegal? And you're still giving them contract, because the allegations that they give, even after they come into office, they're still renewing contract. You're there a year now. You say so much thing. Make the nurses, not you that say that how contract illegal. You're a lawyer. You have to do better than that. You should be ashamed by yourself. Come on, man. Make those nurses permanent, because you even say that the people leaving and going for greener pastures. You know why? Because you're not treating them properly. You're not treating people properly. Treat people properly. Make those nurses permanent because you say it's just a stroke by the pen, you could make them. And it's so illegal. You are in contravention of the labor laws of Grenada. So, and you're a lawyer, you have to do better than that. Not on this International Nurses Day. I recognize them, I salute them for their hard work because when you hear the public workers talking, they're saying that one nurse to how much patients. That is unfair. You can't have a general hospital do that. You know you have all of that. You criticize that, you condemn that in Keith Mitchell days. When you come back, you're doing the same thing, and I must defend that. And people calling my telephone and cussing me all kind of pull at the bad one. I don't care. If you're doing mess, you're doing mess. You're messing up the country. Learn from your mess and do better than that.
All right, caller. Have a good morning and have a great weekend. 435-2041, 435-2041. It's an open line edition of To The Point this morning. Feel free to call it and give your views and concerns pertaining to issues. Let's grab a couple of the comments before we go back to the phone line. And let's see what's up with the comment section of the Facebook page this morning. And let's take this one from Alyssa. He said, we are wonderfully hot and spicy people. Hot and ready to curse at anyone we find may have rubbed us rubbed us the wrong way. An island of conflict. Be careful who you tread. We have Cynthia saying more clean up. Thought we were doing all of that like now. And let's go to this one from Ernesto. He's saying, I want to zero in once again on to Carriacou and the way they have been treated in Grenada when boarding I'm trying to get that word. I'm probably just going to skip it. Back to the Carriacou. They have been asked to show their driver's license or form of ID. Like they are not Grenadians traveling to the state of Grenada. I think it's victimizations against the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and the authorities should look into it. It was brought to the attention of the PM, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, and Minister of National Security, also the Commissioner of the RGPF, but it continues to happen up to last week. We have to remember that the kayaks are Grenadians and should be treated as the mainland. We give our vote and being victimized, and when it comes to the mainland Grenada. Let's entertain another caller here. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Mr. Telesford, I had called on your program already. As a citizen that's seeking justice, I am still disappointed and frustrated in what is happening to me and the justice system. I was abused. I was physically assaulted by a prominent attorney called Jerry Edwin. I had made many efforts through the police department, through the CRD, and through the DPP to seek my way out in seeking justice. And up to today, no one is responding to me. So I am getting frustrated over this matter. I was abused by Jerry Edwin in front of police officers in my uncle's house in Lansapine. Illegally. The police is saying to me that is not in their jurisdiction, they can't handle it. I went to the CRD, they say they cannot handle it. I went to the office of the DPP on more than one occasion. I left information for an appointment. I have sent videos of the clipping of my assault. And up to today, none of them is responding. I am getting frustrated, and I would not allow Jerry Edwin to get away with that injustice in front of my four sons. The system has to know the DPP is an independent institution that seeks justice for the citizens of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and they are not responding to me. I cannot take it anymore, and I hope that after all this, when I decide to take my justice, that the police will not come to me because it would be martyrdom. Jerry Edwin cannot continue to abuse me. He took my uncle's house, he sold it for the doctor who supposed alleged that is his woman. He sold my uncle's house, and he hindered me and my uncle's son from entering the property which he have no jurisdiction. For years, since 2010, my uncle has been diagnosed with memory loss and psychological and mental problem. In 2021, Jerry Edmonds sent an affidavit, leave it in the South Police Station, and hindering the family from entering the property. We entered the property, and Jerry Edmonds came down here with his bodyguard, with guns, to kill me.
Cole, I'm going to ask you to take another 10 seconds and wrap, because we strapped for time and I'm due for a break.
Chief, I want the DPP, I want the Minister of National Security to look into this matter, because I will take matter into my hand. And this is no joke. Ask them for me, please, sir, that I'm frustrated, knowing Jerry Edwin continuing to do what he did to me, and no one can give me justice. I cannot take him to the court. I cannot do anything because they are denying me my rights as a citizen. So, I am asking you kindly, and I'm saying this to the general population of this country, that the injustice must stop. I need justice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your contribution this morning. I'm not sure what we can do personally for your plight, sir, but I will certainly do understand. We due for a break. Let's take it. We're coming right back here on To The Point. Stay with us, folks.
Campesh. On Saturday, July 29, Montrouge Plainfield will be transformed into a sea of grills as food, fun, and friends collide. It's the 10th annual Maggie King of the Grill competition. The best chef and barbecue kings and queens compete for cash, a new grill, and the title of Maggie King of the Grill. Come savor the flavors. Try to bust the ice cold bar and let the kids have their way in the bouncing castles, pony rides, slides, and games. Try your hand at dominoes or the beer and leg competition and win instant cash. Come 7 p.m. you go stateside to enjoy performances from top local acts. It's a whole evening of fun at the Maggie King of the Grill. Saturday, July 29 at the Montrouge Plainfield. Gates open from 12 noon. $10 get you on the inside. Powered by Maggie, Hot 98, and GBN Television.
Uh, 435-2041, the open line edition of To The Point for today, Friday, the 12th day of May. Let's go back to the phone line, entertain our caller in this segment. Caller, good morning and you're welcome.
Good morning, Mr. GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
I just want to a few questions to me.
You want to ask a few questions or?
Okay, I could ask and probe it also. One question I'm always hearing is about poverty in Grenada. Poverty, poor, vulnerable poverty. Thursday, you had the TUNC officer on radio. He said the way to take any nation out of poverty is through education, and which is very true. I'm asking myself the question, if there was a government over a period of time, 10 years, 15 years in office, how come there is so much poverty crying out in Grenada? So much. Is it that there was a lack of the education process and development in Grenada? Also, if we're talking about poverty, we have seen poverty over 10 years. What has been done? We're talking a lot about it. What has been done to improve the situation, to lower the rate of poverty? But every time you hear some politician come on the radio, is a poverty talk, poverty talk, poverty talk. The second aspect, I want to applaud the Minister of Education and the plans that he did state on the radio in looking at introducing Form 6 in secondary school. Because I always believe that when a student leaves secondary school and goes to college, I believe it is about time that college should be upgraded where you can get a full degree instead of an associate degree. So if the Form 6, the children can do the advanced level in the secondary school, when they enter college, college should be providing them with a complete degree. I think that is a very good initiative. The aspect of free tertiary education for college come September, again, that is very good in that you're giving every child an opportunity to improve and to educate him or herself. It is when you look at those goals that you decide to set, then you have to look at maybe within the next 5 or 10 years, this poverty talk, poor and vulnerable thing, this thing will be something of the past. You can't forever only dwelling on poor and vulnerable people, yes, there will be some people that will have unfortunate situation. You will expect that. But when you bring across message like the greater part of the nation seems to be poor and vulnerable, one may ask themselves the question, is that nation, are that people, are they lacking education? Because I'm going strongly with the truancy officer yesterday. Education is the way to take out any nation out of poverty. So let us embark more on education and we'll see better results in our nation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your contribution this morning. Thank you so much. 435-2041, open line edition, Alpha to the Point. Feel free to give me that call. Share your views, your concern. I like to give folks that listening ear. And I sometimes do get that a little bit afraid, and I allow folks to talk a bit. But sometimes I just like to give folks the opportunity to express themselves. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, the last time I got in the program, I was talking about the love for children.
Mm-hmm.
I find you cut me off short, and I didn't do like that. But
I don't even remember the process, but go right ahead.
What I'm saying, to deal with the rising issue of violence in the schools, the children we need to show more love to the children. Harsh punishment and different ways of dealing with whatever misbehavior they may be displaying is not the right way. Showing love. I have seen it from a personal experience, where the more love I show a child, the more the child is obedient to me. The more respect the child gives me. And the more beaten I am or punishing I am to that child, is the more resilient that child becomes. But this was my point I was trying to get the last time, but it didn't allow me to finish. And I am happy that I can get through my point today.
All right, caller,
now,
thank you.
I have another issue.
Go right ahead.
We're talking about education. Soon after the elections gone last year, there was a meeting with the heads of government, OECS government, and a decision was made to make Spanish the second language, the second most important language in the OECS. I was happy to hear of such a venture. Yet, up to this date, I haven't seen any follow-up. I haven't heard of any follow-up of such. I have taught Spanish in the primary school, and the best students I've had was of the kindergarten level. They are the ones with the spongy brain, absorbing everything that was taught to them. That is the level in which we need to start introducing the language. And I'm talking from personal experience again. Being bilingual makes me more marketable on the job market. Just because I may have the same qualification of another profession with someone else, but just because I have that second language, give me the upper hand on that other person. So it's a good venture, but we need to get it into reality. And that's my point.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 435-2041. Feel free to give me that call, 435-2041. We're moving up to 15 minutes onto the top of the hour, which means we've got 15 more minutes left on today's program. Let's go back to the phone line. Entertain this caller. Caller, good morning and welcome. Good morning to you, caller.
Hello, sir. Morning.
Good morning
How
to
you
you.
doing?
Not bad.
There's something that we need to focus on sometime that relates to reasonability, objectivity. So that you have some callers, which is usual on a program, I'm always listening, that make sense, but there are those who they are biased, narrow-minded. Names are not supposed to be called, but at the same time, there are some people who make sense because of objectivity. When you have people criticizing the United States rescue mission that we end up having, when you have negativity of such, you could define the whole issue as a rescue mission. You could define it as an invasion. They invade to rescue. Pure and simple. That's what definition relates to. So that the unobjectiveness of such a person who would say things in this day and age, after we have been stabilized. I sat with Maurice Bishop long before these guys and them know Maurice Bishop. And I say I sat and discussed the invasion in a sense of the word. Because we plan to take over from Gary, Eric Matthew Gary, the Prime Minister at the time, or supposed to be Prime Minister because you're talking about 1974. And up to now we don't have independence. So we have a lot of confusion relative to a thing like that. Here we are, after all these years, still questioning whether the Americans did a good thing for us, along with the other Caribbean countries. You have people who call a program and trying their best to give good advice to the government, whether it's yesterday, today, or tomorrow. Advice is an advice. Objectivity is necessary for us to understand better. That's the point about the whole issue. You hear what I'm saying, mister?
I'm getting your point.
We need objectivity. We need to stop being narrow-minded and biased. Some people just sit down doing nothing in this world and enjoying the rest of the world. And this is why they're able to say things that doesn't make sense so much at the time. And every minute, you want to call the radio station, want to call and influence people's mentality.
Call, I would ask you to wrap up now, please.
I'll wrap up. If objectivity resides with such a person or such people, we would have a better program on that station. And I enjoy the programs all the time. I don't mind listening to anybody. I listen to everybody. Take care, sir.
You too, sir. Have a great day. Folks, we drew for a break. Let's take it. Our final break for today. We're coming right back. Don't touch it out.
A mother is really amazing and incredible.
Records at the traffic department shows that a total of 1,000
447 accidents were reported for the year 2012, which includes 3 road fatalities. 2,946 accidents were reported for the year 2022, which includes 8 road fatalities. This is a significant increase of 104%. This is alarming. When a family tragically loses a loved one, does it matter whether by means of a gun or a motor vehicle? To avoid accidents, drivers and pedestrians alike must exercise extreme caution when using the road.
Mention the wing high, then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power there.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and YouTube channel for We Culture.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers, inside the final 10 minutes of To The Point for today, Friday, the final edition for this week. And let's go back to the phone line. It's an open line edition this morning. Let me say good morning to the caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Telesford, and how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Go right ahead with your contribution.
All right, Mr. Telesford, I want to make my contribution based on that statement I heard a lady speak about the exam result for the children. I would have loved to hear that lady say, when the result come out, if we could look at the children that come in the bottom of the table, find out which school they're going to, and give this child a call and a good little word of encouragement, make them know all is not lost, you know, there is many things in store for them, and you know, you brave them up. But warning how to put the name and the list, I don't know what we could do, Mr. Telesford. There are many people walk their way down to be in the bottom of the ladder, and some walk their way up. So how could we, when I heard that statement, that lady bring me right back to Isaiah chapter 5 from verse 19 to 23. You woe be unto those who take bitter. You will give me a piece of gall to eat, and when I taste it bitter, and then you go tell me sweet. It's a cost to do that. So it's a cost to make you, when you walk your way for your position, you must be able to deal with it. But we must be able to counsel them and give them a good talk. But don't come and try to tell me know how to promote the position that you come. How you want the parents to feel now when the children come up on the top of the ladder. You don't want them to feel proud and happy too? So I can understand this statement at all. I didn't like it. I wish you could have encouraged the children that come low down and let them know something. Give them a good talk. That could boost up them, you know, but trying to hide the position where they come, we have to do better than that as parents.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line edition of To The Point. Feel free to give me a call. Just approximately 5 minutes or so left on today's program. And let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, brother man. How you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good, man.
You know, I saw on GBN News that we have some friends from the prison. And I think they had this program, I think fly program, and they more or less give them the certificate so they can go there and sort of small business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the requirement for barbers and hairdressers and stuff like that to get the license, you can't have a bad police record. So I'm thinking about how do prisoners live in prison for all sorts of crimes stand a better chance than a man, just been in that trade for a couple of years now.
That's an interesting. That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point.
I don't know how Grenada does come up with the policies. It doesn't link with one another. If one person in one thing and somebody else in something, and because you must have set policies that have one direction. You can't tell me certifying prisoners who most likely might go back in prison. But people are just out here doing the trade. They make it hard for them to get certified. There are some people talking about the levels, raise the levels. Well, I'm asking myself the question. What do barbers in New York use and barbers in Grenada are not using? They're using the same product, the same machine, and most of the time, barber shops in Grenada, the standard is higher than barbers in New York. I can tell you that for a fact. I worked in New York for a couple of years as well. And there is no standard in New York. You just go to New York today. You want to go and work in a barber shop, you just go by a barber and say you want to work, and you enter the shop, you rent a chair, and that's it. You work until you're tired work. Up to you. That's what it is in New York. Vike. So if the government comes with a policy they want to tax people, yeah, fine. Nobody have a problem with that. What we have a problem with is the rigmarole you want to put us through. It's a rigmarole, Make it simple. Simple. That's it. Simple as that.
All right.
Why are you telling prisoners they can go there and start a business, and you're telling people out there to get a license, you have a clean police record? You're doing prisoners certificated. Really, that's a big joke, Have a nice day, brother.
You too, caller. Have yourself a good day also. 435-2041, 435-2041. We still could accommodate a minute call or two before we wrap today's program. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Telephone.
Good morning to you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Mr. Telephone, my problem is I have a very great concern for our future generation, those who are now children. Now, when you listen to different things, you're hearing all what they want to indulge children in. You're hearing about calypso. You're hearing about different type of skills, which may not be bad in itself. But the seed that we sow in our children, we're going to reap the fruit later on, and we may not like the fruit. Right now, we're trying to see if we could change the fruit that we are reaping from what we have sown to the generation when we were children. Now, I believe a human being has an origin, and that origin is from the Creator. And we need to teach our children their godly roots. We've got to teach them where they come from, who they are. And they are humans made in the image and likeness of God. And therefore they need to be taught of God. We're not hearing anything about teaching children of God. Teach them calypso, teach them moko zombie, teach them about this, about ancestors, and everything else, but nothing about the origin, where they come from. We have some of them in university that they are told they come from monkey. They evolved over how much million years, and from the 100 and last 200 years, nobody has evolved. So we know the lies that have been told. We need to teach our children from now to know the origin. The origin is from God, the Creator, and we must teach them the Word of God. I am not talking about religion. I know some people like to hang up my neck about religion. I don't believe in religion. We need to know God, and they have the Word of God, the Bible, and we need to teach the children God's Word and to know their responsibility growing up, knowing and acknowledging God and having God in their lives. That is going to guarantee we'll have a stable society. Crime and violence will be less because they have a God that is fair and they honor and they know they are made in His image, and so they have values. But when you don't teach them about God, you're telling them they have no values, so they could do anything, and then you're going to cripple them when they do anything. We have some parents who call their children kids. A kid is a goat, not a child. Stop calling the children kids. You have children, not kids. And these things, we don't see the impact on it. But when we reap the fruit, when the fruit begins to manifest, we don't like it. But we have to check on where we started, and what we teach them. And we, the adults, who teach them the wrong things, are to be blamed for what they're going to be.
Thank you, Paula. You too. Have a great day and a great weekend. Hey, folks, that's how we take a wrap for today's program of To The Point here on Classic Radio and GBN TV. Join us again next week for another edition. Let me say happy advance Mother Day to all of the mothers out there. So I hope you will have an enjoyable day when the day do come around. All the best to you. Hey, folks, all who contributed to the program today, whether it's via your phone calls, your comments, thank you once again also. And be good to yourself and others. Have yourself a great weekend. That's why I say goodbye for To The Point for today.